Hi, Matt from MT. This is a 5-minute overview of the project logging system. This is largely unchanged from Sahara AV. Resellers can still get to it via either the existing SAP login or via the new portal login that we cover in other videos. I'm not going to go into huge detail. It's a complicated system, particularly in terms of who gets notified and when, but this will cover the general flow. So let me just get logged in. If you need to access the project log manager, the first thing you need to go to is tools.clevertouch.com/admin. Use your existing Sahara AV login here. I've got a special shortcut. Um, and if we look at this from an end user's perspective, first of all, so an end user is obviously raising new logs through this project log option, clicking New Clever Technologies log, filling in all the usual details. This will all be familiar to anyone that's dealt with the Sahara AV system. Once a log has been raised, this end, they get a notification email that just says this is a receipt of you creating the log, please keep it. At that point, a number of external and internal account managers receive an email notifying them that a new log has been raised. There's a process where it attempts to match it against any existing logs because we're looking out for duplicates based on things like postcode, address, company name, end user contact names. It kind of does a fuzzy match on many different details to try and identify any existing project logs that are a match for the same project. And obviously it speaks to HubSpot as well. It speaks to your instance of HubSpot and raises a log there. From a member of staff's point of view, you will very rarely be dealing with this front end unless you're raising a log on behalf of a customer. Now, this is a kind of a historic feature that was used more in the past and still sometimes gets used. But if you are a member of Sahara's staff and you go to the project log page and start a new log, you'll actually see that you can pick the reseller you're raising a log on behalf of. At that point, it will show in your list of project logs and it will show in their list of project logs, which is a nice feature. Generally, you're encouraging resellers to raise their own project logs, obviously, but that feature has always been in the system and remains in place after this upgrade to Clevertouch Tools. Over in the CMS area, everything about project logs is grouped together under this menu. The project log manager is largely unchanged, just a bit of a tidy up. And this allows you to click on the little arrow here to get an overview of that project and how it's kind of doing at the moment, including the notes area, which is kind of a log of everything that's happened with it. You can add quick information here on the right hand side. Project summary is here on the left. Generally speaking, though, if you want to dig in deeper and manage the log in a more meaningful way, you click on the Manage button. It's also worth mentioning you've got a series of tabs at the top based on the status of the logs. You've also got ways of searching for logs. You can search for part of a postcode, part of a school name, etc. You can search by account manager, sources. If you've got international project logging, which is an option that you can turn on for any member of staff, you will see this, and this lets them check logs that have been raised for a specific country. Um, this is increasingly used, obviously, and will be increasingly used going forward because the Clevertouch tool system is intended to be for international users, not just for the UK audience. Right, let's just have a quick look at this one. This is just test data, obviously. Bit of a tidy up here. Some sections now look a bit cleaner, a bit more readable. I've added occasionally more comments just to bring some clarity to bits that maybe raised a question. But as you can see, this is largely unchanged. Should be familiar to everyone that's been using it for the last, 5, 6, 7 years. If this particular log has been passed through to HubSpot, that becomes a link to HubSpot, which is quite useful. Other things worthy of note are you've got the ability to link straight through to Google Maps, which can be really useful if you're trying to identify if two schools are the same. That will actually jump you straight through to Google's best estimate at where this school probably is. That can be dead useful if you've got two to compare and, Google Maps say these addresses are different, but I actually think they're both within, 100 yards of each other. It's almost definitely the same place. Um, Obviously, once you're into project logging, you've got the ability to amend all the information, keep it up to date, keep it accurate. add notes as necessary, add an action. If you add an action such as contact the reseller for progress and put a date in there and save, that action, as that date comes around, that action will become an email and you'll get pestered until that has been dealt with. I think it's on a daily basis. There's lots of subtleties in here that I won't try and cover in any great depth because we're sort of 5 minutes in already. Um, this should be your first source for clarity if you want to know who got emailed, what they got emailed, if there are any duplicates, etc. This log area is the first place to come. You've obviously also got things like its project log number, if it's been granted, notification of interest numbers, and the buttons at the bottom of this screen let you change the status of this log and encourage it in the kind of direction it needs to go. So you can mark it as dead, which is decline, which obviously you're doing if you're rejecting a project log. That will send an email to the reseller that raised the log, etc. You can declare it as notification of interest. That assigns the next NOI number, or often you can just accept it. That will assign the next PL number, etc. I think that's probably an appropriate level of information for this video. So hope that was helpful. Thanks. Bye.